What's up, YouTubers? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Daquan. Today I'm going to tell you exact figures, exact numbers of insurance costs between an RT and an SRT 392 Scat Pack. So without further ado, let's get into it. So guys, like I said, today I'm going to tell you exact figures of the RT versus the SRT 392 Scat Pack insurance, and this is based off my insurance and my driving record, and obviously me. There's plenty of factors that go into your insurance, and that's driving record, how long you've been driving, and your credit score. And usually that's the factors that go into, and also company wise as well. That's usually the main factors that go into what you're going to be paying on your insurance. For me, I have better than most insurance simply because I chose the right company and for the cars that I actually bought. So do your research. Make sure that when you're going to buy a car, I didn't do any research when I went and got the Charger. I knew that it would go up just because of what car it was, but I didn't do any research ahead of time to figure out what my insurance costs were on the Charger. So guys, let's get into it. So before we get into insurance costs, like I said, those factors are key. I'm going to tell you what my factors are. I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina has the best rates after you have had your license at least 3 years. Now I also chose Geico. Geico has the best rates. I've done the research, the best rates. I've had all types of insurance companies here in North Carolina. Geico has the best rates for North Carolina people. Now, anybody in North Carolina that's watching my video, just to let you guys know that. Now, I also have been driving since I was 16. Got my license when I was 18. I had my permit before that. So, and then I got my first car when I was 19. It was a 2014 Chrysler 200. Now, I don't have any extra stuff on my driving record. It's clean. I've driven commercial vehicles. I've had defensive driving courses. I've had all types of driving experience. I've driven everything short of an 18-wheeler. Now, thank God I don't have any tickets or any moving violations or anything like that, so I don't have to deal with that on my record. So I got better than, and my credit is a decent score. So I don't have to deal with those type of things. But most people do, just for my experience of talking to people, most people are like, you pay what for your insurance? So just to give you guys that little heads up. Now, of course you guys know I had a Hyundai Elantra before that. It was little 4 cylinders making 147 horsepower to the engine, to the crank. Now my insurance, I have a 6-month policy, so it renews every 6 months, but I pay it monthly. I have this RT on my policy, and then I also have a 01 Chevy Malibu that I've had for some years. It's paid off, and I have that on my policy. So I have 2 cars on my policy. I have higher than legal limits. I think in North Carolina it's 30, 60, 90. I have 60, 90, and then I think 200,000 or something like that. Whatever the next highest limits are, it's levels to it. Now, for me, I just want the highest limits because if I T-bone a Mercedes or whatever, you know, most cars are getting a lot more expensive nowadays. I needed to cover most cars that I was gonna come in contact with. God forbid I have an accident or anything like that. But that's pretty much my policy. Now, I don't have any extra towing and roadside assistance or anything. I pay for AAA and stuff like that. I don't pay any of those extra, or mechanical failure and all those extra stuff that they like to throw in insurance policies nowadays, which is really just a markup of money to me. I don't have any of the extra. I just have the insurance to cover me and the cars in my driving situations. Now, when I switched my Elantra for this RT, like I said, I didn't do any research beforehand when I bought this Charger. And this is just the base V8 that's in the Ram trucks and in the Chrysler 300s. My insurance policy, my 6 months policy overall went up $200. I think it was more like $250, but my overall 6 months policy went up $250. Now, how that translated into my monthly payment went up $100. Now, I got this car and it probably will change when my 6 month policy renews. I got this car in probably, I think 2 months into my 6 month policy when it had already renewed. So it'll probably change once my policy renews, because then they'll redo stuff. My policy usually always drops every time I renew. But as it is right now, my monthly payment went up $100, and then my whole policy itself went up $250. I think it was a little bit under that. Now that's just the basics of the RT when I put it on my policy. Now for me, I don't think that's too bad. I think for a lot of people, I mean, I've seen ridiculous prices, and this is full coverage. The ridiculous prices for cars out here. I mean, I know one guy who has a 2015 tuned Camaro, and he's paying over $500 a month just for that. So I'm definitely blessed to be paying those type of prices for what I have and on my policy. But that's just the RT, guys. Now, all you guys know that there's a higher up, there's a 6.4 of this. Now, the 6.4 Scat Pack, I think is more considered a sports car. I think this isn't really considered a sports car that much. It's considered more of a sports car. So I was curious, I wanted a wide body charger, to be honest. I wanted a wide body charger before I even bought this charger. I just think the wide bodies look so amazing, better than the wide body Challengers. So I called up my insurance company. I was like, hey, look, if I were to trade this in and get a wide body Scat, how much would you charge me? And these are the exact figures that I got from them guys. They said that based off what my setup is right now, if I traded it in and got a wide body Scat, which I kid you not, I would get pretty much for the same price that I could get this for, maybe a little more expensive. It's not based off price of the car really that much anymore. They said that my policy would go up another $150. My 6 month overall policy. So remember, I said that this took my policy up another 200 or something. So on top of that, they would add another 150. And my record is clean. So you're talking about upwards 400, what is it, 400, it's almost $500 up on a 6 month policy just for a Scat. And I have perfect driving record. I don't know what that means to you guys, but I just want to give you guys the information, because I think it's definitely, when you're going into performance cars like this, I think it's definitely information that people need to know beforehand before you look into buying one of these things. Now the V6's insurance cost is pretty much nothing. I mean, it's a V6. But main thing to get out of this video, guys, is not even just to see how much it's gonna cost, because insurance is solely based off the person, really. And you know, their circumstances where they live, their credit score, and their driving record and stuff like that. But the main thing that you should get out of this video is not whether you should go get the SRT versus the RT. The main reason why I'm making this video is that you should do the research before you go buy the car. And then secondly, that your insurance will go up. Depending on what car you already have, it will go up. If you're driving an economical car and you want performance, it's going to go up. It's just, and then the value of your car as well is going to go up. This car is worth more than my Hyundai. So guys, just do your research beforehand before you go get a car or anything like that. You literally can just ask for a quote. Give them the VIN number. I know with my insurance company, I just give them a VIN number, they pull up the car, and then they just ask me what I want, my limits, and then they give me a price. That easy, guys, takes no time. I can even do it through the app. So guys, just do your research before you do it. But I just thought I would make this video for the people who are thinking about going performance, not even just mopar, but going performance from an economical car. It does cost you more. And I'm not just talking about gas. I'm talking about the actual reality of it is your insurance, which is what really makes a difference. As usual, this is Redline Junkies. My name is Daquan, and I'll catch you guys next time.